Hey guys, and welcome back to another one, and I hope you are all okay on that side of the screen. Now today we are going to take a look at the latest PC case from Sharkoon, which is at the back, really cool one. It's called the Sharkoon NIGHTSHARK, and we are also going to take a quick look here at this PSU, which is the Silent Storm. And we are back, and don't forget to check the link down below for the sponsor of this video, which is PureVPN, one of the fastest VPN services that I've used so far at an affordable price with apps for almost any platform. So don't forget to check the link down below. And guys, starting with the Sharkoon Nightblade, which is a cool case, as I said, especially for those that really enjoy RGBs, lightning, and so on and so forth. Now, in terms of the build quality, this is a solid case. It's all made of a steel construction, if I must say so, and the only exceptions that I found on it were the front panel, which is plastic, a strong plastic plus tempered glass, and also the side panel, which is made of tempered glass. Now, moving to the storage capacity of this case, we have a lot to choose from. As you will see at the front, we will be able to put two 2.5-inch SSDs or hard drives, or one 3.5-inch hard drive. Now at the back we will have two slots that we will be able to place in two 2.5-inch SSDs or hard drives, and then finally at the top we will find a cage that will take two 3.5-inch hard drives, or one 3.5 plus one 2.5-inch SSD. Now have in mind that if by some reason you still use a DVD player, which is fair, I don't use it personally, but if we use a DVD player, then we will lose the top slot for the hard drive or SSD, and we will only be able to take one space on that cage, which is the bottom space. Now moving to the airflow and dust filters. First of all, in terms of the airflow, it is a big case, and with those three fans that come included, we will not need anything else, well, with the exception of our CPU cooler and the cooler for the GPU, of course. But in terms of the airflow, I have no complaints at all. Now moving to the dust filters, what we will find is that at the front panel we'll find two dust filters on the sides, which is where most of the airflow will get in. So very easy to remove, very easy to clean, and then put them back in place. And then we will also find a dust filter at the bottom, which will cover the whole size of this big case. Also easy to remove, clean, and then put back. Now in terms of size, this is a quite large case. It's a mid ATX case, so it will take a micro ATX, mini ATX, and ATX motherboards. In my particular case, I'm using a micro ATX from Asus. So as you guys can see by some images, we will have a lot of room to work with. Now there is a cool detail right over there for supporting GPUs. In my particular case, I'm using a AMD 560, as you guys know, for Macintosh reasons. But if I swap with the GTX 960, for example, which has two fans and it's a bit longer, as you guys can see, the case has that support, which will, as the name indicates, support the GPU so it doesn't bend. Now this will be very useful for this kind of GPU or longer GPUs, and as you guys can see, even the 960, which is not that big, it does a nice impact. Now moving to the CPU cooler that I'm using at this moment, as you guys know, it's the NZXT Kraken X42, and in this particular case there is a lot of choices regarding where I want to put my CPU cooler. Now I did try here and there before deciding my mind, and as you guys can see, we can place, for example, a 280 radiator at the front. All we need to do is to remove those two front fans that are included, and we can also mount it instead of the hard drive or SSD cage that is right at the back, and leaving space for the fans, or we can mount them at the bottom of the case itself. So guys, hopefully you can see on the screen the spaces that we have available for the radiator. In my particular case, as I said, after moving around and checking out where should I put them in, I did decide to place it on the same place that I had on my previous case, which is at the bottom front. And to do that, I had to remove one of the fans and then place the radiator right over there. And the downside that I see is that instead of having two really nice fans with RGB colors at the front, I only have one and then have the other one at the bottom. As I look to my case, most of the times sideways, it looks really cool, but for someone that looks to the front, there is a drawback, which to me is acceptable, but depending on the person, then you might want to just to put the radiator at the bottom or even on the hard drive case. Now, moving away a little bit from the Sharkoon night plate and talking about the power supply, which is the next component that I'm going to put on the case. Now, this is the Silent Storm Icewind 750 watts, and one of the things that I love on this PSU, like I do on any other PSU that delivers this, is silent. It's dead silent, so this is really cool. In terms of efficiency, this is a 80 plus bronze efficient power supply, and Sharkoon states it as a fully modular power supply. At least I think that I did read that somewhere, and I would agree and disagree at the same time. So first of all, a fully modular power supply usually doesn't have any cables at all connected. This one has two cables connected already, and when I agree to this sentence is just that those two cables, one is for the motherboard and the other one is to power the CPU. So I do believe that we can say that it's a fully modular power supply. Now, one thing that I really enjoy is the cables of this power supply are all sleeved with this nice material. Looks really good and feels good, and one of the things that makes us work better is that they are very soft, so we can actually bend them and place them the way that we want. So really good right over here. In my particular case, I would love to have them in black and red, just because those are the colors that I love, but in blue and black they are not bad at all, and in terms of quality, better than the average that we see on this price point in terms of PSUs. Now, in this particular case, the PSU, as you guys have seen by some images, is mounted at the top of the case, which is different, but in my opinion looks good, and it gives a different aspect to the case. So you guys have to decide if you prefer this kind of mounting or mounting at the bottom. Fortunately, we have choices on the market for everything, but when I look at it, I really enjoy the way that it is giving me a lot of space on this side over here. So this is just a matter of personal choice, really. And in terms of cable management, as you guys may imagine and see by some images, really easy to follow. Now, I must say that it's not the best cable management system that I've seen, because we have seen some cases that we have a actual system to route the cables and so on and so forth. So nothing fancy here, but not bad at all, because we have a lot of room and we have those grommets that we can just plug in with some cable ties, and that's it. We will solve the problems. We'll have a lot of space on the PSU cage at the top to hide almost all the cables. So in my particular case, I'm really happy with the cable management, although, as I said, it's not the most organized that I've seen. There is a lot of room, so we can do a great job. And the only cables that I see right over there are the motherboard, the GPU, and of course the CPU cooler. So I'm really happy with the final result. Finally, the RGB, which is one of those things that either we love or we hate. I do believe so. Now, in this particular case, they are really cool, and after connected, we don't need any software at all. We will be able to control it with just a click of a button. In this particular case, the reset button. If we press it shortly, we will find a lot of color choices. In this particular case, 14 color choices, and as you guys may see by some images, there are 7 static solid colors that we can choose from, 1 static rainbow effect, and then 3 moving rainbow effects, 1 cycle through all the colors where it will change automatically, and then finally 2 color fan spin effects. So if you like RGBs, then this case it's almost perfect for you guys. And that's about it in terms of the overall experience with the case. Build quality, it's great. In terms of cable management, it could be a little bit better if they had a mounting system, but it's more than okay because we have a lot of space, and the RGB is really cool. In terms of the power supply, the best thing for me, in my opinion, in my experience, difference is the sign, and it's a silent PSU, so I'm okay with it. It has a black and white theme, so I do believe that it will go well with both systems if we have white or black. In this particular case, the case hides everything, so it's okay. And that's about it. Hope that this video was helpful in some way, and if it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up. My name is Roberto George, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.